Welcome back to the Lemon Factor. I'm Chad, and today we're going to take a look at 2022. We only have about a week left in the year. We're entering into 2023, and I'm going to take a moment to pause and really take a closer look at what we've accomplished. I am going to go through the highlights of 2022 because we did accomplish a lot on this channel. And if you have been a subscriber, if you've watched all of the videos for 2022, I want to thank you very much. We've just recently surpassed the 10,000 subscriber mark. And I am super excited. That really says a lot. It tells me that people are enjoying the channel, enjoying the content. In addition to taking a look at what we've done in 2022, I'm going to reveal some of the ideas that I have for 2023. Some of the things that I know we are going to be taking a look at with our two project cars. Things we're going to do as far as installs and dyno testing and track testing. And it's not set in stone. So if you have ideas, if I haven't touched on something you'd like to see done with one of our two project cars, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. With that said, let's take a look at what we've done in 2022. In the beginning of 2022, we started our multi-video series in which we tested various air intakes for the 10th generation Honda Accord, specifically the 2-liter Honda Accord. I installed a lot of different air intakes. We took them all to the dyno. We compared them on like-for-like platform, so strictly changing out only the air intakes, and we got our results. In the beginning of the year, I also hinted at replacing our ND2 Mazda Miata. And I produced a couple videos in which I took a look at some other convertibles that are under $70,000. I took a look at other cars that were under $70,000. I did some research to see if I could find a suitable replacement. And I have to say, when I finally did get rid of the Miata, I published a video in which I highlighted why I felt like it was not the right car for me anymore. So I had the car for 3 years. It's not like I had just got it. I didn't know what I was getting into. I enjoyed the car. It's still a great car, but I think I outgrew it. I was looking for more, and I highlighted that. And I have to say, some of the backlash was expected, but there was quite a few. So I'm not sure why people take it personal that I got rid of the car, that the Miata wasn't for me, and they lash out against why I did so. I continued to look to find a suitable replacement for the Miata, which did take me some time, but I did end up finding something. And that something was the Toyota GR Supra. I have to say, it wasn't an easy decision. It wasn't like, oh, this is definitely what I'm going to buy. Even the Toyota GR Supra with its market adjustment, I wasn't revealing to you that I was getting it until I actually got the car, or I should say signed the papers to get the car, because everybody was asking, all the dealers around my area, and I'm not just talking about Colorado, I mean the surrounding states, were asking a ton of money as a market adjustment. Thanks to my son, he did find a car, and we made a nice trip out of going to get it and driving it back. Taking the Accord to the track, using the K-Tuner Stage 2, we put on the Faribault Stage 3. We also installed some other modifications like the Mishimoto intercooler, which was a surprise even to me how much additional horsepower you can gain from upgrading that intercooler. There was a disappointment though. A disappointment in our PRL high volume downpipe. I think we were all hoping that we were gonna gain some sizable gains, and I have to say, in the past, on other turbocharged cars, yes, I have experienced some nice gains. So I was a bit surprised when we did dyno test the downpipe, how much horsepower we gained or didn't gain. But it was disappointing given the amount of money and given the intensity of the install. But again, this is on the stock turbo. Maybe, I don't know, maybe on a bigger turbo, that part may be a restriction and we'd see additional horsepower and torque gains. And just for fun, we took off the tune. So we weren't using the K-Tuner Stage 2, we weren't using the variable tune, but we kept our modifications on the car and we dyno tested it. One of my favorite parts of the year is when we upgraded our wheels to the Wed Sport wheels, which I really like. I think they look great. And more importantly, to some nice summer, sticky summer tires in a wider tread. And that added significantly to our traction. So both in acceleration from a standstill, cornering, and in braking. And a surprise to me is we did some coating to the car, which was great because there were a handful of things that I really didn't like about the car, and we were able to solve, I believe all of them, most of them, by coating, using Beamer code to code out or code in certain features of the car. We bought the ethanol kit, the PRL ethanol kit for the Honda Accord. We installed that, and off the bat, we used the K-Tuner ethanol tune, the one you can get free with the purchase of a K-Tuner. We tested the 0 to 60. We took it to the dyno to see how much horsepower. And I have to say, you can feel it. It's awesome. It felt really, really good. So we tested that out, and then I tested out the variable stage 4. So that is variables stage 3 plus the ability to use the ethanol, even more gains. I'm really happy with the variable stage 4, very impressed by it, and it allowed us to finally get into the 4s, 0 to 60. Why is that significant? We're at high altitude, as a lot of you are well aware, less oxygen. Cars are going to be slower because they're not going to have as much horsepower. And just let me pause there for a second. When I say that and you look at the dyno graphs are standardized for sea level, so they are indicative of anyone who's closer to sea level. These are not my raw data numbers. Next step after ethanol for the Honda Accord was taking a look at upgrading our turbo. There's a lot of turbos out there. So I took a look at the top 10 most popular turbo upgrades for the 10th generation Honda Accord. So what do we have in store for 2023? I have a very extensive list. I don't know if I'll get to all of it. It'll be fun trying. And like I said, if you'd like to see something and it's not on this list, please let me know in the comments below. But we're going to start the year off by installing that new upgraded turbo. And I know I haven't told you, I will reveal that to you very soon. We'll install that. We will get it tuned, and we're going to take it to the dyno. We're going to see how much horsepower, how much torque we gain. And then we're going to see how well it performs 0 to 60 and at the track. I want to see what happens with our quarter-mile times. With all of the additional horsepower, not just with the upgraded turbo, but even with the variable stage 4, stage 3, I will feel more confident if we install a big brake kit. Some of you, a lot of you, or quite a few of you, have asked about upgrading the charge pipes and motor mounts. Now, I really don't think upgrading the charge pipes will do much as far as gaining performance, but we may end up doing that for the motor mounts. Motor mounts are not going to give you additional traction. If you are experiencing wheel hop, which is typical in a front wheel drive car that has a lot of horsepower, so you're spinning the wheels and it starts hopping in the front, motor mounts can help with that. I have not experienced that. I've experienced the tires slipping, but that's just spinning of the tires. Motor mounts are not going to solve that. With that said, if you really, really want me to do that, we can install them. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe they'll be fine, maybe they won't add any additional vibration or noise to the inside of the cabin, which I really don't want, but you know what? I've been known to be wrong in the past, so maybe that's something we end up doing. One thing that I noticed in 2022 at the quarter-mile track is the heat buildup within the engine bay, our intake temperatures. And the intercooler really helped out a lot with that. But another thing that I was considering was adding an upgraded hood, a vented hood, or venting our OEM hood. When it comes to our Toyota Supra, I got even a more extensive list. So definitely want to address some of the cosmetic, make it a little bit my own. I want to go with a yellow and blue. Our car is the new for 2023 Stratosphere Blue, which I absolutely love. I'd like to add a rear spoiler, take a look at a front lip spoiler. The steering wheel is fine. I don't dislike it as much as I dislike the Mazda Miata's OEM steering wheel, but I've seen quite a few aftermarket steering wheels that look pretty nice, so potentially upgrading the steering wheel. And yes, eventually we will get to, and it will happen in 2023, take a look at adding additional horsepower. So a lot of things to consider, a lot of content to work on, and I'm excited. I love these two cars. With that said, I think we're done for today. Thank you very much for joining, and until next time.